Welcome. This is your daily devotion for Tuesday, December the 15th from the Greenbrier Valley Church of the Nazarene. Today we are going to continue reading in the book of 1 John. We're going to finish up chapter 4. We are going to be reading verses 11 through 21. And here is the word of the Lord. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God. But if we love one another, God lives in us, and His love is made complete in us. This is how we know that we live in Him and He in us. He has given us His Spirit. And we have seen and testified that the Father has sent His Son to be the Savior of the world. If anyone acknowledges that Jesus is the Son of God, God lives in them and they in God. And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God and God in them. This is how love is made complete among us, so that we will have confidence on the day of judgment. In this world, we are like Jesus. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. We love because He first loved us. Whoever claims to love God yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. For whoever does not love their brother and sister whom they have seen cannot love God whom they have not seen. And He has given us this command. Anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister. In the article that Andrea writes today, the focus verse is verse 11. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. And her article is entitled Confessions. And here's what Andrea writes. I'm guilty, and I bet some of you are as well. I confess to hiding snacks that I am not interested in sharing or that I might consider sharing on a case-by-case basis. I'm certainly not going to let my caramel-filled chocolate, for example, be pilferaged freely even by those whom I love dearly. The unfortunate consequences of allowing such a travesty means that those special treats might not be there when I'm ready for them. I'm also guilty of something far more serious than hiding snacks, and I bet some of you are as well. I confess to not always looking for opportunity to show God's love, or worse, not following through when an opportunity is presented. I am certainly not purposefully keeping the goodness of God's love to myself, but it happens. The unfortunate consequences of allowing such a travesty means I have failed to do what God has called me to do. Share His love. Let's resolve together to no longer be guilty of hoarding God's love. Let's confess our love for our Savior and share it with everyone we encounter daily. As for your snacks, that's between you and God. The hymn that accompanies this article is Oh How I Love Jesus by Frederick Whitfield. There's a name I love to hear, I love to sing its worth. And from the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 12, we find, My command is this, love each other as I have loved you. And that is your daily devotion for Tuesday, December the 15th. Have a wonderful day.